Hello everybody, welcome to this video. This is a newspaper review and I'm Julian from the 70s channel, T-Rex and Bowie. As I said, this is a newspaper review. There's a lot to get through here. So it's the new Musical Express, and it's a paper. It looks completely different nowadays. It's in a sort of like glossy magazine. But this is how it came out, and this is an edition that I managed to pick up, and it's March the 8th, 1975 copy. And as you can see, there's the price, 12p, and it costs 35 cents in Canada and 50 cents in the US. So let's have a look at the paper. So I just flicked it over. We're on page 3, and this is talking about Tangerine Dream. And apparently back in 1975, in this 8th of March newspaper, Tangerine Dream will play a major London concert at the Royal Albert Hall on Wednesday, April the 2nd. It will be the German band's only British performance this year, and they will be featuring material from their new album Rubicon, which Virgin release at the end of the month. Okay, on page 2 here, page 2, there it is. It's talking about Mickey Finn leaving T-Rex and parting company with Marc Bolan in 1975. It goes on to say that Marc is pursuing other projects. A film called The Obsession with David Niven. I'm going to have to check that out to see if that film actually did come to the light of day. Marc was actually going to play a psychotic killer in that film. And Bolan said that when I've finished this film, I will go back to my recording duties. Okay, we're still on page 2, and this is a news briefs about some bands that will be on tour, and Fox, who had a couple of hits around about this time in 1975. They will be touring. Carl Douglas, who had a big hit with Kung Fu Fighting, will do a special one-off at Swansea City Football Ground on March the 31st. And we got some dates here from Showaddywaddy, who'll be appearing in April in 1975, and they will be at the Southport Floral Hall in Southport, and Carlisle Market Hall, and Air Pavilion. They will be at Glasgow Apollo Centre, and Aberdeen Capitol, and Edinburgh Sidell Theatre, and Ilford's Tiffany's. And the Electric Light Orchestra, it says there, will be on the Old Grey Whistle Test. And also Mud are on tour, and they've added some dates to their British tour. They will be appearing at Morecambe Pier Pavilion on March the 31st, and Yeovil Johnson Hall on April the 2nd. And that's about all I can see. The Chi-Lites are in England, it says here, and they will be doing a couple of dates in Peckham in London. Okay, flicking on to page 4, and I'm going to come back and have a look at this, because this is the charts. It usually features the UK singles and the US singles, and the UK albums and the US albums as well. So we'll have a look at the charts. We'll come back to that page at the... let's flick through the other bits in the paper, but we'll come back to that one. Okay, this is page 7, and this is John Lennon. An advertisement here. He's got a new album out in 1975, and the album's called Rock and Roll. There it is. Good picture of John there, and you can buy it on cassette and cartridge. Oh dear. No CDs in them days, or Blu-rays or DVDs, but we still had vinyl records, which have made a comeback. So I had a lot of good vinyl records in them days. So 1975, we were ahead of the time. Okay, on page 10 here, here's an article about Uriah Heep. Oh, okay, so this is on page 13. And this is John Entwistle's debut album, which was called Mad Dog. Here's an advertisement on Decca Records. Member of The Who. Okay, this was a fascinating read. I haven't read all of it, but it looks an interesting story. This is about Lou Reed, and here's the many faces of Lou Reed there, and some guy really doesn't like Lou Reed here. You really are a... Oh, that's Lou Reed responding to what he said up here, that Lou Reed is a completely depraved such and such. Anyway, I won't go into that. And here on page 16, here's my band, The Sweet. And it's saying here, Sweet Shock. So the paper here, the New Musical Express, the NME, as they call it, New Musical Express, are quite shocked that The Sweet are back in the charts with Fox on the Run, a song that went to number 2. And it says Sweet Shock here. Okay, this is on page 20. This is about Capital Radio. There was a frequency at the time. It's all changed these days, of course. They're on DAB, and you can get Capital Radio on your TV. And this is the lineup. Sometimes I used to like soul music, and I used to listen to a bit of Greg Edwards. He was on. And Tommy Vance was on at 10 o'clock with The Late Show. Who else was on? On Monday, Roger Scott, I remember him. He was a great DJ. Roger Scott, he was on at 3 o'clock. A fantastic DJ, Roger Scott. He actually joined Radio 1 later on. Sadly died around about 1991. But what a DJ he was. Fantastic. Great voice. So on page 22 here, here's some new releases. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. Cockney Rebel, Best Years of Our Lives. Tangerine Dream. John Entwistle, What We Saw. Mad Dog, Curved Air, Live. Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti. Eric Clapton, One in Every Crowd. So here we are. This is talking about Cockney Rebel's latest tour. There's a picture of Steve Harley, who sadly passed away a couple of weeks back. And he was on tour. And this is talking about his... he was on tour at the time, because we saw that in the paper. And this is talking about a new album. So back on page 28, page 28, we've got a very interesting article on The Sweet. We saw them earlier on in the paper when they were shocked. This paper, it says, congratulations, Sweet. They were shocked that Fox on the Run was in the charts, but I had a look at this little article, and this is a New Musical Express poll of various subjects. So let's take a look at it. So the New Musical Express poll. Musical Express poll. I'm just looking at the front of the page here. It is called New Musical Express. So let's get back to page 28. Yeah, we're back on page 28 here. And we got the New Musical Express poll. So top vocalist. Brian Conley in second place. David Bowie, first place. John Anderson in third place. Ian Gillan in fourth. Alvin Stardust in fifth. Out of all the vocalists that are around at that time. Okay, so let's have a look at the New Musical Express poll. Let's go to their other category. We've seen Brian Conley in second place in the vocal section with David Bowie top. So let's go to this second section. This is a top live group. And they've got Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Sweet are in second place. With Yes in third and Deep Purple in fourth and Genesis in fifth. But the top recording group was The Sweet. And Yes in second. Emerson, Lake and Palmer in third. Deep Purple in fourth and Slade in fifth. Now let's have a look at their poll for the best drummer. Well, Mick Tucker only in fourth place. They got Carl Palmer there, who's the drummer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, of course. Pete York, I think he was in the Spencer Davis group. And Ian Pace of Deep Purple. And, of course, the legendary Ginger Baker in fifth. But Mick Tucker. Okay, the top albums of the year. They had Bad Company at number 1, Tubular Bells at number 2, Diamond Dogs at number 3, and Sweet Fanny Adams at number 4, and Burn at number 5. So, Bravo poll, it says here, and the Sweet have won it ahead of some good bands. What is a Bravo poll? I suppose the way you carry yourself, charismatic, the style of the band, and it says here, won by the Sweet for the third year running. So that means the Sweet here are winners in 75, 74 and 73. So it's good that they managed to hold off these bands behind them. And look at the bands behind them. ABBA, Osmonds, Rubettes, Beatles, Mud, Sparks, Deep Purple, Slade. And I don't know who's at number 10. Les Humphrey Singers. Never heard of him. So the top singer, he actually got the top singer, Brian Conley. Great stuff. He didn't have it in the other one, but he's got it in this poll. Brian Conley, Robert Palmer, second, Ian Gillan, third, John Anderson, fourth, Peter Gabriel, fifth. Pretty good page, this, isn't it? The top group, The Sweet. Yeah, they're holding off Deep Purple, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Yes, and Pink Floyd. So the top guitarist. And they got Richie Blackmore at number 1. Good guitarist, no doubt about that. Eric Clapton, Andy Scott in fourth place, but he does beat Jimi Hendrix. Oh dear, this is good, isn't it? Okay, we're moving on to the top bassist, and Steve Priest manages to get second place. Glenn Hughes in first. Should have done my research. I'm not quite sure what band he played in. But if someone knows, they can drop it in the comments and let me know. Top drummers, we're going back to Carl Palmer of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Ian Pace of Deep Purple. Mick Tucker gets third place ahead of Keith Moon. That's not bad, Keith Moon. Great drummer, Nick Mason. Okay, top singles of the year was won by The Sweet with the 16s. And in second place, I Shot the Sheriff, Rock Your Boat, George McRae, This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us, and Sweet get number 5 when Turn It Down. And the top LPs of the year was won by Sweet Fanny Adams from The Sweet, Burn Deep Purple in second, Welcome Back My Friends, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Tubular Bells in fifth, and Rory Gallagher with his Irish tour of 1974. That's it on page 28. That was very nice, wasn't it? Really interesting page there. And there's a picture of The Sweet. Brian Conley, Andy Scott, Mick Tucker, and Steve Priest. So here we go. This is a very interesting article here. So on page 34, it's talking about books and stuff. And page 35 is films. Interesting read. So this is an advertisement of Alice Cooper. Looks like he's abandoned the snake and gone for the spider. God dear, scary stuff. Alice Cooper's new album, Welcome to My Nightmare. And there we go. Fantastic. So there we go. Here's some people that you can see, and you can contact London Theatre Bookings if you want to see Chuck Berry, Chai Lights, Suzi Quatro, Supertramp, 10cc, Lou Reed, Cotley Rebel, and many more. So on page 40, this is the gig guide. Stacks of gigs, stacks of bands. I haven't got time to go through them all. It's on page 40 anyway, so you can check it out. So here's a picture of the late Ronnie Lane, who sadly left us a couple of months back. He was on the back page of this New Musical Express from the 8th of March 1975, and this is Ronnie Lane advertising his new album, That Shim Chance, and these are the gigs that he was playing. He was playing actually on the 8th of March at York University, in Redcar as well, the Cotham Bowl. It could be seen in Manchester at the Del Al Sol College, and in Ipswich at the Civic College. And he played at Newcastle on April the 4th at the Mayfair in Newcastle, and Cleethorpes Winter Gardens. So here we go. This is page 4, my favourite page, because we have the charts in the New Musical Express. So you turn it over to page 4, and these are the charts. Tuesday the 4th of March 1975. This came out on the 8th of March 1975, so it's up-to-date chart for that week. New Musical Express, I think, came out on a Friday. 12p, was it? So number 1 was Telly Savalas with If. It has the UK chart and the US Billboard Top 100, but in this case it's a top 30. Make Me Smile by Cotley Rebel. They were number 1 last week. Oh, God rest his soul, Steve Harley and Cotley Rebel sadly left us 2 weeks ago. But they were in the charts, but they're down 1 place this week to number 2. Only You Can by Fox is number 3. Mud at 4 with The Secrets That You Kept. My Eyes Adored You. Frankie Valli is at number 5. The Carpenters are at number 6 with Please Mr. Postman. Good soul sounds coming in here in 75 for Shirley and Company with Shame, Shame, Shame. It May Be Winter Outside for the Love Unlimited Orchestra. At number 9 is a new entry. It's David Bowie and Young Americans. Pick Up the Pieces. I'm not going to read them all. Pick Up the Pieces, The Average White Band are at number 11. And a fantastic song at number 12, going up the charts for Supertramp and Dreamer. I'll do my best to have a look at the charts. Here we go. We got a new entry at number 14, the Bay City Rollers. Bye Bye Baby. That'll soon be number 1. And January from Pilot takes a big drop this week. They were number 5 last week. They had been number 1, but they're down to number 20. And Slade are at number 21 with How Does It Feel? And John Lennon has a new entry at number 23, so he's doing quite well. A new album out, as we saw, Rock and Roll or something, was it? And he's in at number 23 with Nine Dream. The Arrows are at 24 with My Last Night With You. I'm not too familiar with that one. And we got the Rubettes at 27 with I Can Do It. And Sweet Music from Showaddywaddy at number 29. Okay, we've had a look at the UK singles charts. Let's have a look at the US charts for the same week. We're on the March the 4th chart, so let's have a look what the US singles charts for the Billboard Hot 100, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to look at the 30 songs. At number 1 was Olivia Newton-John and Have You Ever Been Mellow? Coming from the same album, I think. Never heard that track. My Eyes Adore You, Frankie Valli, is at number 2, and he was actually at number 5 in the English charts, just showing you. So he was at number 2 in this US Billboard charts. Lady Marmalade, great soul sound, that. LaBelle at number 4. The Doobie Brothers are at number 5 with Blackwater. Millie Rippington's Loving You at number 6. Styx with a song called Lady at number 7. Bachman Turner Overdrive, Roll On Down the Highway is at number 8. Best of My Love from the Eagles at number 9. America, Lonely People, they're at number 10. And another great soul sound in the American charts here for Shirley and Co. Shame, Shame, Shame. And Ringo Starr's it at 12 with No Song. So there we go. And we got the Ohio Players, and Joe Cocker's in the charts. He's in there at number 14 with You Are So Beautiful. And Elvis Presley finds himself at 21 with the classic My Boy. I love that one from Elvis. Carole King's also in the charts with Nightingale. And so is Bad Company. They're in at 23 with Moving On. Al Martino, Give Us Spanish Eyes in 1973. He's to the door of the sun this time. And Hot Chocolate are at 29 with Emma. And Linda Ronstadt, this week's number 30 in the American Hot 100. At number 30, Linda Ronstadt, and You're No Good. She was always in the charts, wasn't she? In the American charts. Okay, so let's take a look at the British album charts for this week. Okay, we're having a look at the album charts for Tuesday, the 4th of March, 1975. And we got Status Quo at number 1. They were last week's number 5, but they're up to number 1. On the Level, Status Quo on Vertigo label. At number 2 is Elton John's Greatest Hits. At 3 is Mike Oldfield and Tubular Bells. At 4 in this chart in 1975 in March is Supertramp and Crime of the Century. And this is a surprise, isn't it? Number 5, Sheer Heart Attack from Queen. So Status Quo holding off all the big guns here. Engelbert Humperdinck is at number 6 with the Greatest Hits. Why'd you laugh, Julian? At 7, Blood on the Tracks from Bob Dylan. Good album. At number 8, we got Physical Graffiti, brand new entry for Led Zeppelin. And the Carpenters are still in the charts here at number 9 with their greatest hit singles, that Brown LP, 69 to 73 on A&M Records. Barry White was at number 10 with Can't Get Enough. He was flowing in The mid-70s was Barry, wasn't he? And look at this at number 11, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Came out in 73 and still in the charts in 75. And there it is. See that there where it says 101? It's been on the charts for 101 weeks. But Simon and Garfunkel have beaten that. They've been on the charts for 119 weeks with their greatest hits. Simon and Garfunkel's greatest hits on CBS. And K-Tel with a classic. I've got this album, Get Dancing. Bay City Rollers, I got that album as well. With Rollin', that's at number 14. At number 15, 12 greatest hits from Neil Diamond. Ralph McTell's at number 16 with Streets. And Elvis Presley, 40 greatest hits on Arcade. Yeah, I got that one as well. It's on a brown sort of cover. David Essex is in the charts at number 18. Bachman Turner Overdrive, Not Fragile at 19. Wings, Band on the Run. That's been on the charts for 64 weeks. That's at number 20. And the 10th anniversary album, Greatest Hits of Tom Jones, at number 21. Stardust. That's from that film, isn't it? David Essex in that film. Number 22. And John Lennon here. See John Lennon at 23, new entry with his new album. And Mud have a new album at 25. And the Average White Band are at number 29. And Billy Connolly, right at the bottom, number 30, Cop Your Whack for This, on Polydor. Okay, this is a fantastic paper, isn't it, this New Musical Express? We're going to have a look at the American Hot charts, whatever they call the album charts, and Blood on the Tracks, which was at number 7 in the English charts, is the number 1 album this week. And the Average White Band are at number 2 in the US charts. They were number 1 last week. And if you look here, they're at number 29 in the English charts. But in the US charts, this album by the Average White Band is number 2. It was number 1 last week. Linda Ronstadt's album, Heart Like a Wheel, is at number 3. And Olivia Newton-John, that single that we saw in the charts, which was number 1 in the US charts this week, Have You Ever Been Mellow? The album, the single, same name. Elton John's greatest hits are at number 5. Barry Manilow's at number 6. Another album from Elton John at number 7 called Empty Sky. PB Snow's in the charts. Styx are at number 14. LaBelle, Nightbirds, that's a soul album. We got Jethro Tull, War Child, at 16. The Doobie Brothers are there with What Were Once Vices. The Ohio Players did quite well, didn't they, in America? Fire. And so John Denver, the Eagles have a new entry, On the Border, and George Harrison, Dark Horse, is in the charts at number 27. And Tony Orlando and Dawn, Tie Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree, but not that song. The album Primetime is at number 28. And Bachman Turner Overdrive are at number 29 with Not Fragile. They did a little bit better in the English charts. They were sort of mid-pack, wasn't they, with that one? So that's the singles, the UK singles, the US singles, the UK albums, and the US albums on page 4. Have we finished with the charts? Oh no, there's more charts on page 4. So this newspaper, as I said, comes from this newspaper, as I said, comes from 1975. It's the 8th of March copy, as I showed you. But they have more charts here at the bottom on this special charts page. and it always comes on page 4, the charts. So we got some other charts here, and it has the charts here going back 5 years. So we're going to go, because we're in 1975 on the paper review, we're in 1975. And at the bottom here, it has the charts, the top 10. Well, actually, it's the top 9. And 5 years ago, let's have a look who was in the charts 5 years ago. 1970, 4th of March, because don't forget, that's what the charts was up here, 4th of March. We're doing the 4th of March again here. The paper is out on the 8th of March. So it's this week, in that week of 1975, the 8th of March. Okay, Lee Marvin. I was born under a wandering star. Hills are made for packing. Oh, I love it. Classic, that one. Number 1, Wandering Star, Lee Marvin. At number 2, the Jackson 5, I Want You Back. Let's Work Together, Can Heat, is at number 3. Love Grows, Edison, Lighthouse. Instant Karma is number 5 for the Plastic Ono Band. That was John Lennon, of course. United We Stand, Brotherhood of Man. They were at number 6. Leaving on a Jet Plane. Not John Denver's version, but this one. Peter, Paul and Mary. Great song. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'm coming back. My Baby Loves Loving, White Plains. They're at number 8. And Tema Harbour from Mary Hopkins is at number 9. And it is a top 10, because at number 10 it's Venus by Shocking Blue. Okay, this paper is from 1975, this paper review of the New Musical Express. I'm Julian, this is the 70s channel. I do hope you're enjoying this paper review. It's quite good, isn't it, really? I'm enjoying it, and we've had a lot packed in, and we're still on the charts on page 4. We're going back 10 years ago to March 1965. The 5th of March, and who was number 1 that week? It was Tom Jones. It's not unusual. The Seekers, I'll Never Find Another You, were at number 2. Hermits were at number 3 with Silhouettes. Game of Love from Wayne Fontana. And the Mindbenders, they were at number 4. Sandy Shaw, I'll Stop at Nothing. She was at number 5. Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood from the Animals. At number 7, I Must Be Seeing Things from Gene Pitney. The Rolling Stones were at number 8 with The Last Time. And Marianne Faithfull was at number 9 with Come Stay With Me. And the Ivy League were at number 10 with Funny How Love Can Be. Okay, this paper is in 1975, this review. But we're going to go back 15 years. So that 15 years from 75 will be 1960. And this was the charts in 1960, the top 10. At number 1 was Poor Me from Adam Faith. Anthony Newley was at number 2 with Why. Running Bear was number 3 from Johnny Preston. Slow Boat to China, Emily Ford was at number 4. Voice in the Wilderness, Cliff Richard, was at number 5. Way Down Yonder from Freddie Cannon. At number 7 was Pretty Blue Eyes, Freddie Cannon. What a name, eh? Craig Douglas was at number 7 with Pretty Blue Eyes. Perry Como, oh yeah. Was he the guy that used to cut hair and sing to his customers, and they said, wow, you got a great voice, and he went into the studio and made an album. Delaware, here he is at number 8. Perry Como. Acker Bilk was at number 9 with Somerset, and Bobby Darin was at number 10. This is page 4. This is a review of the New Musical Express, and this is Julian wrapping things up. There's the paper, and there it is one more time. 8th of March 1975, 12p, 50 cents in the US, 35 cents in Canada. I hope you enjoyed this paper review of the New Musical Express, brought to you by myself, Julian, from the 70s channel, T-Rex and Bowie. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch you later for another video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Until next time, take care.